Convicted murderer Alex Murdaugh faces the first day of another trial, this time on financial charges.
A North Texas woman is suing Starr County after being charged with murder.
And later, our crew shares their official bracket for this year's March Madness.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV News at Noon.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining ntTV News at Noon. I'm Drew Maurer.
And I'm Kennedy McGregor. Alex Murdaugh, the disgraced and disbarred former attorney who has already been convicted for the murder of his family, is facing another round of federal sentencing. This go-round, he's answering for his financial crimes, which involve his theft of millions of dollars from his clients and his law firm. Once an heir to a Low County legal dynasty, now an heir to a twin bed in a cold cell, as he currently serves 2 consecutive life sentences. Murdaugh pled guilty in November to 22 counts of fraud and money laundering, and it's estimated he stole close to $12 million from his clients and law firm, embezzling money to support his opioid addiction. Victims of his crimes include the family of his former housekeeper, who allegedly died of a trip and fall in his home in 2018. He then encouraged the woman's son to sue him, but set them up with an attorney who colluded with Murdaugh to pocket the millions of dollars in insurance settlement funds that should have gone to the woman's children.
A Texas woman has filed a lawsuit after she was charged with murder after a self-induced abortion. Lizelle Gonzalez is suing prosecutors and Starr County for more than $1 million. The then 28-year-old was arrested and spent 2 nights in jail after using abortion medication to self-induce 19 weeks into her pregnancy. This came before Roe v. Wade was reversed in Texas, and this was at a time where abortions were illegal after 6 weeks. Gonzalez claims prosecutors knowingly misrepresented facts, ignored her rights, and her name, mugshot, and private medical information made national news.
Violence in a home is never a welcome or wanted situation, but unfortunately a family in Pennsylvania has been torn apart by fatal violence. A 13-year-old girl is being charged as an adult with homicide after she stabbed her mother to death and also stabbed her younger brother.
A resident I spoke with who wanted to remain off camera says that he believes Powell and her family were only living inside of the home for about a month prior to this incident. He says that he'd seen Powell go to and from school a few times, but other than that, he barely saw the residents or heard anything out of the ordinary. Friday at around 12:30 p.m., Wilkes-Barre City Police responded to a home on the 20th block of South Sherman Street. When officers arrived, they found Tamika Tucker had multiple stab wounds to her back and chest areas. Our news-gathering partners at the Times-Leader say Tucker was later pronounced dead by the Luzerne County coroner, adding a juvenile male who was also found laying on a couch in the living room with stab wounds to his back. The juvenile was taken to a local hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The Times-Leader also say when Powell was approached by officers at the scene, she said she was sorry she killed her mother and that she stabbed her during an argument. She later told police she threw the knife she used in the attack on a neighbor's doorstep. I spoke with the neighbor in the area who found out the knife Powell used was left on her front porch. The neighbor says she was home at the time but was doing yard work in the backyard.
But I'm just thankful to God I wasn't out because I really don't know what could have happened. But I look at it as something bad, something good will come out for this young lady, that she can get the help that she needs.
Officers on the scene also noticed that kitchen drawers containing scissors, knives, and other cutting instruments had padlocks on them, with one of the locks laying on the ground. Other police reports have stated the girl told the police, "I don't have my phone because my mom took it before our fight. I killed my mom and she'll never forgive me if she is alive."
Well, Kennedy, I don't understand. Yesterday it was humid and really stormy, and then today it's kind of chilly. I don't understand.
Don't ask me. I don't have the answers, but I know who does. Our weather anchor, Jalen Tucker, is here to give us our first look. Jalen?
Yes, guys, I do agree. I'm not seeing those nice spring weathers here today. As we look at today's current conditions, the temperature currently is 57 degrees outside, but it feels like 54, maybe because look at how high that wind speed is coming in. 18 miles per hour. So very high winds. So beware of that when you're walking to class and just going around everywhere. Looking at tonight's conditions, that temperature is going to drop just a little low. The temperature being 56, and it's going to feel like 54 just because that wind speed is coming at 10 miles per hour. So still going to see those nice clear skies going into tonight. Now going into tomorrow's conditions, we're going to up the weather a little bit, being 63 degrees, and we're going to see that nice sunny sky outside, but it's going to feel like 62 just because of that wind speed coming in at 13 miles per hour. Now guys, I do have another famous weather trivia question for you guys. Since solar eclipse is coming in, what is the longest duration of a total solar eclipse? I'll have that answer for you next after the break, and we'll figure out where the watch parties are around Denton.
Good evening, my name is Amanda Hasbell, and I'm joining you here today in the Union Parking Garage. Today we're going to be going over how to drive safely in the parking garage. Let's go see. Oh my God, this girl just got hit by a car. Let's go see what happened. Ma'am, are you okay? Did you see that lady hit me with a car? Yeah, we did. I got it all on video.
Oh my God.
Let's go over here and talk about how we can prevent that.
Yeah, not the hospital.
Well, right now we're going to ask you a couple questions on how we can drive safely in the parking lot. What are ways that we can be aware of our surroundings?
Oh, we can look both ways.
Jenna, also, how about putting the distractions away?
Yes, just like our phones, turning our music down, and also not focusing on our passengers.
Where can you get information on how to get a parking pass?
Transportation.unt.edu.
If you park in a garage, make sure you pay on the app or look for further instructions on how you should pay.
And remember, no pass, no park. Let's all try to keep our mean green community safe.
Remember, we're all in this together.
Drive safe.
All right, look up here. 1, 2, 3.
Mom, Dad, I got it.
You're right, Mom. I have.
Has this ever happened to you?
My bike! My bike is gone!
Stolen bikes are an epidemic sweeping college campuses across America.
What am I supposed to do?
It's quite simple. The We Mean Green Fund has partnered with the UNT Police Department to offer free bike locks to any UNT student with a bike. Just show up with your bike in tow and ask.
Now I'll never lose my bike ever again.
Enough worrying. Get your bike lock today.
All right, welcome back. So the question was, what is the longest duration of a total solar eclipse? We have 4.5 minutes, 7.5 minutes, 6 and 21, or 9 minutes and 57 seconds. So what do you guys think the answer is?
Well, I see it there. It's 7.5 minutes. But I was going to go with 4.5. So I would have been 0 for 3, just like the Astros started their season out as. So, well, Jalen, 7.5 minutes. That's awesome.
That's the correct answer. Yes, 7.5 minutes. Back to you guys at the desk.
Well, Kennedy, do you know where you're going to be at when the eclipse happens on Monday?
Probably work. Just kidding. I really have no idea, but this is a pretty big event. I mean, classes are getting canceled for this eclipse, and we know it's not coming again for a really long time. So our segment anchor Paisley McGee has a couple spots for us to celebrate this wonderful event. Paisley.
Thank you guys. The eclipse is 7 days away. It's almost time to grab your eclipse glasses and head outside. But before you do that, here are some free events around Denton that are hosting an eclipse watch party on April 8th. The University South Lawn here in Denton will host an event from 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. Also, UNT's Discovery Park event will go on from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. Unfortunately, Denton will experience 99% totality, so if you want to see 100% totality, you can head over to the UNT at Frisco location. They will have their watch party at the Toyota Stadium from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. It'll be very hectic that day, so be sure to give yourself enough time to beat the traffic. That's all for my story. Back to y'all at the desk.
Thanks, Paisley. Students and faculty returned to school this week to find that one of their own wasn't there. A teacher at Manatee Academy in Port St. Lucie was killed in a murder-suicide by her estranged husband. CNN's Stephanie Susskind has more on the tragedy.
I was a friend of hers, and see how I'm stumbling? It's devastating.
Daryl Fannell is in shock, trying to understand the tragic death of beloved math teacher Jamie Felix.
Very, very, very brilliant, great mother, teacher, woman in general. Her and my son played rec ball together. They got a few championships together.
Court records show Jamie had filed for divorce from Ray Felix, also an employee at the school, in October. Days later, he was arrested for domestic violence against his wife. He then resigned from his position at the school. Soon after, a permanent domestic violence injunction against him was issued. Port St. Lucie police say there is no record of him violating that injunction until Friday.
She was exiting the urban air park in the 9000 block of US 1 with her children, and she was accosted at that time by her ex-husband and basically forced into a vehicle with the two children.
Police say the couple ended up in the parking lot of a West Palm Beach hotel. West Palm police released this surveillance video from the scene where, according to police, Jamie is seen getting out of the car and is followed by her killer. Investigators say Ray Felix shot and killed his wife in front of their two sons, then left the property and killed himself. Port St. Lucie Police Chief Richard Del Toro says an unusual email from Jamie to some of her coworkers during this time set off the investigation.
It's basically that she had lied about the domestic violence incident, which we know not to be true. It sounds to me like that email was placed under duress.
Jamie's students came together to build a memorial for her and hold a candlelight vigil over the weekend. The loss is weighing heavily on the community's hearts.
Her and her boys were inseparable. They was always together, and I just can't believe this happened.
Jamie Felix's death was tragic and sudden, but it did not go unnoticed. If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, please contact the national hotline at 800-799-7233.
Well, we have just a sad run of news for y'all today, but family violence is unfortunate, and especially with unhoused families, it can be especially difficult to pinpoint. 29-year-old Timothy Young was apprehended in Frisco last night after he shot the mother of his children. He then fled the scene with their children in the vehicle. After the woman was shot, she ran into a fitness center, telling the employees of Young's action and asked them to call the police. Since the family were living out of their vehicle with no ties to the Plano area, the police were forced to dominate the streets in their search for the man. 70 officers from both Plano and Frisco police forces scoured the area, searching for the man and children, and located them in about an hour, with the children unharmed. The man was quietly and quickly apprehended to prevent him from reacting. This story is still developing, so we'll have more details as follows.
Well, Kennedy, just like UConn is the betting favorite this weekend against Alabama, who's the favorite in terms of the temperature today? Is it over or under 50 degrees? What do you think?
I mean, I really can't even tell. Maybe over.
Okay, well, Jalen, let's find out from you.
Thanks, guys. Yes, if you look in Denton, Texas, we are looking at 57 degrees. I mean, even in the northern region of North Texas area, we are seeing those low 60s, but even down south here, we're seeing those little mid 60 degrees up here. So it definitely is chilly around our North Texas area. Now look across the whole state of Texas right now. We're still looking in those 60s, definitely in Abilene, it's 69. Over there in El Paso, so West Texas, it's 65. Still up north here, it's looking really chilly, but especially in Oklahoma City, 44 degrees outside, but if you travel further south, we're looking at 62 in Austin, Houston, Texas, 65, even in Shreveport, 63 degrees. So definitely those nice springish type weathers. Now we look at the 7-day weekcast. Going into tomorrow, we're looking at 71 being the high and 44 being the low. Heading into the weekend, we're going to see those nice sunny weathers with the highs being in the upper 70s and those lows being in those mid to 50s to 58 range. Going into Monday on the solar eclipse day, you're going to see those nice 77-degree weather, but that low being 62, but we do have a chance of rain, 36%. Going into next Tuesday, that high being 70 and the low being 58, and it is going to be a rainy day, so make sure you guys bring your raincoats next Tuesday. That's all I have for weather. Back to the desk.
Thanks, Jalen. Well, if you're an AT&T customer, you need to protect your privacy now. That's the advice from experts, as there's a massive data breach that is currently affecting 73 million accounts. On Saturday, the company said the leaked data include personal information of current and former customers, including social security numbers. The data breach, which spreads users' personal information on the dark web, included information from 2019 and prior. The leak does not appear to contain financial information or specifics about call history, according to the company. But if you think you've been hacked, experts say to reset your password, ask for a credit reporting agency to put a fraud alert on your account, and consider a credit freeze to block someone from opening a credit card in your name. AT&T is urging customers to remain alert about changes to their accounts or credit reports. Well, if you're like most people and not 100% solid on this election's candidates, we may have found someone for you, so don't go anywhere.
And later, we'll have the official March Madness picks of everyone here on Tuesday Noon News. We'll be right back.
Attention all UNT students, are you looking for a professional headshot?
If so, mark your calendars for April 11th and 12th, where you can get a headshot by Isabel and myself.
Whether you're updating your LinkedIn profile, building your portfolio, or just want a stunning photo, join us on April 11th from 3:30 to 9 p.m. and April 12th from 12 to 5:30 p.m.
Located at the RTFP building in room 261, this event is free for all UNT students, and I repeat, free for all UNT students.
Don't miss out on this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to shine professionally. Get ready to put your best face forward. See you there!
So a man's been walking in the desert for days at a time. He finally comes across a bar and orders a Coke.
That's not funny.
Eh? Eh?
Well, Kennedy, lucky for you in your pink suit. I heard there's a colorful event today on campus for all students to enjoy.
Yes, so exciting. Our reporter, Crystal Cooper, has more for how you can join us in the fun this week today. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. If you're needing a way to relieve stress today at 2 p.m., Chestnut Hall in room 313 is hosting Healing in Color, a free art workshop for all UNT students. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced painter, the event is for everyone, so come on out to express your creativity in a new way. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Crystal. Well, literally anybody else. That's what one Texas teacher legally changed his name to, and yeah, you guessed it, he's running for president. Literally anybody else, formerly known as Dustin Ebby, claims he was fed up with America's executive options, President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump. He's working on securing 113,000 signatures from non-primary voters in Texas to get his name on the ballot. The teacher says his name isn't a publicity stunt, it's a rally cry, campaigning to make healthcare and education more accessible. Now, when you hear the words literally anybody else for president, it might mean something different to you.
Well, opening day has passed for the Rangers, and young players like Wyatt Langford are already making their impact in the major leagues. And at the same time, the major leagues are making an impact on young players, but not in the way you might think. Take a look.
Globe Life Field, home to the Texas Rangers, home to the 2024 All-Star Game, and home to the annual Kubota College Series. It gives college kids a chance to feel pro before they go pro.
It's just the opportunity to play on a big league field, which is super cool. They haven't had the opportunity to do that up until this point. For the scouting, it's an opportunity to see how they are able to handle that type of environment, something where, it's not this small intimate stadium as opposed to, what you see at a Baum Walker in Arkansas or, any other field in the country. They can handle themselves where the pressure's on and the lights are, much brighter than they are at any other stadium. You've got two big boards that have your face plastered on them. It's a little intimidating. It's a little different. It's just the chance to, play on a big league field, and that's cool in and of itself.
The analytics movement has overtaken the game of baseball, but for these kids, they use data a little differently than the pros.
It gives you real data instantaneously. You can see how the matchups will play out 9 times out of 10. From a college standpoint, it's not as advanced, but you get these numbers that allow you to decide how to best play your guys that have draft potential.
As the college baseball season marches on, it's clear the impact that participating in the Kubota College Series has on all these young stars. And we'll see the tournament come back to Arlington in early 2025. Well, as you've already seen, the madness of March continues on into April as the Final Four begins this weekend. Man, Kennedy, are you as ready as I am? Because I'm stoked.
Absolutely. My phone is going on Do Not Disturb all of Saturday, so I'm fully locked into these games. Our sports anchor, Trey Francis, is here to give us a little preview before the madness. Trey?
That's right. This weekend's games are going to be really good. We've got Alabama against UConn and Purdue against NC State. I'm looking forward to the Zach Edey and DJ Burns matchup, but you can't forget about the Huskies trying to win back-to-back, but they'll have their hands full with the Crimson Tide.
That's right, Trey, the Huskies. That's who I've got going back-to-back. Dan Hurley's squad winning it all this upcoming Monday. What about you, Kennedy?
Okay, that's a pretty casual take,
Oh,
Drew.
come on.
I'm going with NC State. Trey, who you got?
Yeah, Kennedy, I got to agree with you. I'm going to go with the NC State Wolfpack in this one as well. I don't think anyone is stopping DJ Burns, and I'd love to see the 11 seed shock the world. Now, guys, we've been talking about March Madness for weeks now. I think it's time to get some other opinions. Paisley and Jalen, who are y'all winning? Who are y'all taking to win it all?
Yeah, thanks, Trey. As you can see the graphic behind us, Drew picked UConn. I'm right there with Drew. I'm picking those Huskies to win it all.
And I'm going to go P for P with Purdue.
Well, we'll have to wait and see who's right and who's wrong this weekend, but we won't have to wait for the Stars and Mavericks because they play tonight. Trey, what do you have for us on that?
That's right, Drew. The Stars at night are big and bright. Yep, you guessed it. We're talking about the Red Hot Stars and Mavericks, as well as a big injury for the Rangers. I'll have that for you after the break.
What's wrong? Are you stuck in your paper?
Pretty much. I haven't written anything in like an hour.
Why don't you check out the writing center at UNT?
Well, how do I meet up with them?
All you have to do to make an appointment is visit the Writing Center's website and either call the number or email writingcenter@unt.edu. The appointment is 30 minutes long, and the trained tutors will be able to help with brainstorming, correcting grammar, ensuring clarity, and a wide range of services. They also do walk-in appointments.
That sounds awesome. I'm gonna check them out.
So, when's this paper due?
30 minutes.
For more information, visit the UNT Writing Center's website.
Yeah, it's 6 pages.
There's no harm in wanting to have fun while in college, but it's easy to lose track of how much you've had. Apps like Drink Control and Alkadroid can help keep track of your consumption and blood alcohol levels. If you or someone else does drink too much, the signs of alcohol poisoning are as follows: pale skin, vomiting, confusion, low body temperatures, irregular breathing, blacking out, and is hard to wake up or cannot be woken up.
Dude, are you okay? Hey, what's wrong? Wake up.
It's an exciting time of year, but it's important to be responsible. If you suspect someone is suffering from alcohol poisoning, get help immediately. You will not get in trouble for seeking help if you are underage. For more info and resources, go to UNT's Division of Student Affairs.
Well, deep in the heart of Texas, the Dallas Stars are on a tear as they've only lost 2 games in the month of March. They are 14-2 in their last 16 games, and they've been getting hot at the right time, as there's only 7 games left to play in the regular season. The Stars have 103 points and are currently 1 point behind the New York Rangers for being the best team in the NHL. The Stars look to continue their streak when they play the Edmonton Oilers tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. at the American Airlines Center. Now, let's talk about another hot Dallas team who is one of the best in the NBA right now. That's right, it's the Dallas Mavericks, who have won 11 out of their last 12 games. And Luka Doncic, he was unstoppable once again, ending the Houston Rockets' 11-game winning streak. He went off with a casual 47-point game as Kyrie Irving contributed 24. Doncic finished with 12 rebounds, 7 assists, and sunk an incredible 9 three-pointers. That crowned him as the Mavericks' most prolific long-range scorer ever. The Mavs won this one with a score of 125-107. And with just 8 games left to play in the regular season, the Mavs currently are tied for first place in the Southwest, and if the playoffs started tomorrow, they would hold the 5 seed. Their next matchup is against the Warriors tonight at 9 p.m. And last night, the Texas Rangers, they played at the Tampa Bay Rays, and the Rangers, they led all throughout the game and looked good as usual, but although the Rangers won 9-3, they lost their third baseman, Josh Young, who was hit by a pitch in the 9th inning by a pitcher, Phil Maton, who just beamed Adolis Garcia right before. Young is ruled out indefinitely with a broken wrist. In his place, the Rangers are calling up a top prospect in Justin Foscue. Young was hot with the bat so far this season, batting .412, 2 home runs, and 6 RBIs in just 4 games. The Rangers face the Rays again tonight with Andrew Heaney on the mound. And now that's all I have for sports. Let's go back to y'all at the desk.
Thanks, Trey. Well, that's enough sports for the day. Kennedy, did you know dogs can understand certain words?
I did not know that. Remind me not to talk about filet mignon in front of my dog again.
That's probably a good call. A new study suggests that dogs associate specific words with objects and can actually understand them. In the study, 18 dog owners said words for their objects and their dogs already knew them. Then held up that object or a different one while an EEG measured the pup's brain activity. Researchers observed a difference in brain activity when the owner held up the right object as opposed to a different one. The result? The same as humans in similar experiments. So, in conclusion, Kennedy, just talk about a different kind of food when you're eating.
Yeah, I'll be sure to keep that in mind because my dog is just a table scrap vacuum.
Oh, me too. Thanks for watching ntTV News at noon.
Join us again tonight at 6 and tomorrow at noon here on North Texas Television.